Okay, so once again, the roll call, we have me, AJ, who just
Yeah.
waved the peace symbol. Leslie, us. Thank you.
Sorry, everyone was saying
We
someone
have
just
another
throw
piece.
out some gang signs.
Tori
I don't
is
know.
here, and I see Erica is here. So let's go ahead
My
and
cat is
move
also
on.
here, if that counts.
And oh yes, yes. Well, I have pets surrounding me at this point.
My cat is not here. I think he's in the other room.
She will not leave me alone.
King Titan is on his perch or no?
In the living room, yeah. His living room
Okay.
perch.
Well, that's the throne room as I understand it. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. First of all, we have two open officer positions that need to be filled. Our secretary would have been Chelsea Kuntz. However, she has subsequently resigned her position from the board. And I sent her a message wishing her all the best as luck would have it, Declan Grinnell, who was our treasurer, has taken a position for a healthcare facility down in Georgia. And because he's moved out of state, he has let go of the treasurer's position. So we have two open positions, and we are taking nominations for these. Is anyone interested in becoming the treasurer?
Hi, it's Erica. I could definitely do the treasurer. Um, I'm the treasurer for my local Democratic committee, and I am running for Chester County treasurer next year. So get some good practice in with this.
Okay. Well, having said that, that's good. First of all, are there any other nominations? Now, we don't have a quorum, but we also don't have a whole lot of time to be able to make these decisions because of something I'm going to get to in new business. So, are there any objections to Erica taking over as treasurer?
Nope.
All right, congratulations, Erica. You're the new treasurer.
Yay, I win by default.
You did. Okay, and next we have secretary. The secretary is responsible for keeping the minutes of the meetings and assisting me and the vice presidents with the setting of the agenda and making sure the agenda goes out according to the bylaws. So is anybody interested in taking the role of secretary?
I would, but I feel like I have a lot on my plate already. The content creation, the radio station.
True.
I don't want to overextend myself and lack in one of the other areas.
That's reasonable. Well, I can always leave that on hold since our meetings are being recorded. I can take the recordings and send those out in lieu of meeting minutes so that everybody has a copy. And by the way, I am on my PC to be able to do this meeting. Thanks to the upgrade for Zoom, I transferred the paid version that I have on my phone over to my PC, and voila, it worked like a charm on the very first try. So I am very thrilled that we are able to do this. Okay, that brings us to officer reports. And as I'm the only officer listed here, except for Erica, who's our new treasurer.
Woo!
Woo, my report is simply this. Earlier in May, we received, I think it was May, it may have been early June. We received a message from INSA, a company out in Eastern Pennsylvania that has offered us a percentage of their a percentage of their sales for the entire month of June as their way of showing support to the LGBTQ community. And so the last time they did something like this, they sell vapes, and we ended up getting $4,000 from INSA off of the sale of vapes. So if they're able to produce in the same way this year, that amount of money would buy just about all of the equipment needed for the studio for the radio station. So that would get our mixing board, another turntable. It would get us studio quality speakers for in the studio. We would have
Computer parts for the manager's PCs.
yes, it would come.
Yeah.
It would be enough for another PC or
Derek could
two,
definitely use a little bit of an upgrade.
right? I would add that there will be other fundraising ideas that need to be kicked around when we get to new business items. Apart from that, I can say that the two Pride events I've attended so far this year, Warren County Pride and Venango County Pride, were both very successful. I thought Venango County Pride, for being a smaller rural county, was going to be maybe 50, 60 people and a handful of protesters. And when I got there, what I found instead was 0 protesters and about 600 people. Okay, and that's a low estimate. The people that ran Venango County Pride put that number closer to 800. They ran through 400 name tags for folks within the first 2 hours of the event.
Venango County?
Venango County.
Damn, that's insane.
Yeah, it
Indeed.
was very
That's not the
well.
Venango County. That's welcoming. And I saw that they had like a bar, like an Oil City activity at night.
They had 3.
Mavics or something. Oh,
Yeah, there were a total of 3. One was at 5 p.m. Another one started at 7, and then the festival organizers were getting together with vendors at around 8 at a different place. So I didn't stick around for any of the after party stuff. I wanted to get back home, unpack, and unwind.
That's what they all say.
And
He was having all the fun after. Don't listen to him.
yeah. In 90-degree heat for 4 hours, closer to
it's
6
raining,
hours.
man. I get it.
No, it definitely wasn't. It wasn't raining anything in Venango County. Although I got to meet a lot of nice people. Met a number of folks who are interested in the radio station, both from a content perspective and from their businesses looking to advertise or underwrite the work that we're doing. So there is that. And at this point, I would pass the reports over to Jen or Dylan, but neither of them are here. The secretary position is open. Erica, do you want to say anything now that you're treasurer?
We have money. I don't know how much because I don't have access to our books yet. We need more money because nonprofits always need more money.
Yeah.
And I look forward to helping to find more money for our nonprofit.
That was by far the most insightful treasurer's report we've ever had. Good job. No, I'm serious about that. We seldom ever hear from the treasurer because the treasurer is, well, often absent. So it is refreshing to have a treasurer who's taking the position seriously and is committed to building the nonprofit that we do have. All right.
Yeah, can I ask a question about the
Sure.
treasurer's position?
Sure.
Do you know if we currently have a license or any kind of way of doing our accounting, our bank account, managing all of that?
So when you say license, what do you mean by that? Our license from the state to be a nonprofit?
No, what I mean is like, do we already pay for something like NetSuite or Quicken or something like that
Right.
for accounting of our income and expenditures?
No, we don't. I've handled a lot of that through spreadsheets, which I can send you copies of, and the bank records from Marquette Savings Bank, located out here in Erie County.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just need the login and access to the bank account, obviously, as the treasurer.
Okay. Yep, I can certainly send all that to you. Alternatively, I would suggest one of the things that we do is when we do get new funds in, I'd like to send them out your way and let you deposit them in a bank that you recommend and let you spearhead the control over the funding.
Okay. Yeah, I have a credit union out here that does stuff for us for other organizations.
I think that would be ideal because I want us to be in a position where you being the treasurer have immediate and direct access to the funds as we need them.
Sounds good.
I will also make sure that you get access to the PayPal account, and the Venmo account that we have, largely because we use those for smaller purchases. For example, we use some of the PayPal money that we got to pay the $125 fee to the state for getting nonprofit and corporation status for the radio station. I
Okay.
used some of the PayPal funds to buy art supplies so that we had something to put on presentation at county pride events like Venango and Warren County and what we're doing next weekend in Erie. All that stuff Meredith was working on that she shared in the chat group.
Okay. So let's take this offline so we can continue on with this meeting. But
Sure, of course.
having all of our funds in a central account and then being able to disperse into our Venmo account, into our PayPal account in order to buy things,
Mhm.
that's probably going to be the best way to do that.
Agreed. And I think that sums it up beautifully. Okay. So on to old business items. We formed committees. If you haven't already gotten a copy of them, I will make sure everybody gets a copy of the chart, not this, the committee structure chart, where you can see who is serving on which committees. If you see your name listed there and it's got pink highlighting, that means you're one of the co-chairs. So, Erica, for example, you've got both legislative and marketing and communications.
Yep.
I see AJ and Aiden have the radio station under their wraps. Tori, you're going to be working with Gina for education and housing. And
Gotcha.
I've recently heard from Gina. She said that things have been quite busy at PSEA out in Harrisburg. So she will be touching base with you as soon as she can find the time to do so.
Okay.
All right. I'd like to get committee meetings held before our next quarterly meeting, which isn't until September. So this gets us through Pride season and gives everybody a chance to build the agendas, get the committee meetings going, and decide what kind of schedules you're going to want for those, whether monthly or every couple of weeks. However, the committee chairs want to do that. That is entirely up to you. PEP Radio, AJ, do you have anything you'd like to add on PEP Radio?
You know anyone who wants to help out the cause? I feel like that's the main thing. Need a little more people to help cover more things.
Okay, can we be a little more specific on people and things?
We need another music manager. Well, I guess we could use another sports co-host for Derek, but I guess it's really needed.
Okay.
And preferably someone to cover other sports types as well instead of just football. News stuff, which I could do myself, but it would be a little easier and less work on me if one of those things I had to worry about if someone else was able to do that too.
Okay. From the engineering side of PEP Radio, I'm going to be reaching out to the Broadcasting Engineers Society in Erie, their local chapter, and see if there are any radio engineers in the area that we can work with that would cut us a break on getting the equipment installed when we actually have it. Free Shop is going to be coming up in September of this year. As for what that entails, if you've not seen the work we've done with Free Shop, it's people bring their stuff to the community room at the local public library on one day, and then on the second day of the event, anyone from the community who would like to get clothing, blankets, shoes, toys, games, books, DVDs, etc., can go through the tables and the layout and the materials that we have, take whatever they want, box it up, and it's theirs for free. We've done this 5 times already. The 6th one is coming up in September. And when I was at Venango County Pride, I met with librarians from the Venango County Library System, and they are interested in holding a similar type event and would like to work with us to make it the Venango County version of Free Shop. So it seems like the concept might actually get a shot at spreading beyond just the city of Meadville. And I'd love to see
Oh,
that
yeah.
happen.
Yeah, that'd definitely be cool. It'd definitely be good for the communities.
All right. So new business items, promotion of legislation, particularly House Bill 2269. I think at this point it might be best to turn it over to Erica as she has more information to share.
Okay, thank you. Let me bring up the page that I had open with all these things. So House Bill 2269. Basically, this is an act that has provisions relating to marriage, further providing definitions, basically changes um, our rules and regulations here in the state to go along with Obergefell and officially make same-sex marriage legal in Pennsylvania. Even though it's legal around the country, it's we still need it to be had here in our rules in Pennsylvania. So it's a very important piece of legislation, especially given what could happen with our Supreme Court, what could happen if the orange fellow gets back into office.
The orange
Um,
fellow. I like how you put that.
yes, the orange fellow.
The rotten
If
Cheeto.
Yes. So it's a very important piece of legislation, the primary sponsor is Malcolm Kenyatta. So Malcolm, if you didn't know, was the first out gay man in our state state legislature, and he's currently running for our Auditor General here in Pennsylvania for a statewide office. So very important piece of legislation. I believe we'll probably get this out of the House, and just like everything else for the past 4 years, it'll probably end up languishing in the Senate this year. There are a few other pieces of legislation that I just want to touch on. One is a negative anti-LGBTQ bill sponsored by Representative Rowe. Rowe. I don't even know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah, Brad
Roy.
from Meadville.
Yeah. So he had House Bill 2421, an act prohibiting gender transition procedures for minors and coverage for gender transition procedures for minors. Basically, his whole shtick is that trans kids, adolescents, whatnot, their brains aren't fully formed, and therefore they can't be made. They can't possibly know how puberty blockers and transition related medical procedures would affect them. So therefore, he wants to make them illegal in the state of Pennsylvania. That has been referred to the health committee. That was just referred a few days ago, 5 days ago on June 20th to the health committee. The scuttlebutt from the inside of the legislature and Joanna McClinton, that's never going to come up for a vote while she's the Speaker of the House. So it's very important that we get all of our Democratic state rep candidates elected this year, increase our majority in the House, and so that will help protect LGBTQ kids. There is one other one that I wanted to touch on. That is an act in the Senate by Senator Capoletti out here. And that was also referred on June 20th. That was referred to judiciary. And that is an act prohibiting governmental actions against parents, legal custodians, and legal guardians of minors in the provision of certain information and services to minors and providing care, certain protection from child abuse claims. Basically, it's for LGBTQ kids, especially trans kids who either are here in Pennsylvania or who would come here to Pennsylvania to receive care because their home state does not allow it or has laws against it. And so that bill is going to go through the Senate right now. It's in judiciary. I don't know if it has a chance of even coming out of committee, but I think it's worthwhile. And there's a lot of good provisions in there if you've heard her speak on the topic. One final one is going to the Supreme Court. I don't know if you've heard about it, but there has been a challenge to Tennessee's laws against gender affirming care for minors. And the Supreme Court has decided to hear arguments about that bill. And that will be next. That'll be in the next session. So we may not hear anything from them for quite some time about that. I don't even know when the next section of arguments is going to be, but they just decided to take it up yesterday. So some very current events, very current pieces of legislation that are coming up. And we, just so you know, as far as where we sit in Harrisburg right now, in the House, we have a 102 to 101 lead for the Democratic Party in Harrisburg in the House. We want to look to expand that this year. So there are quite a few very good Democrats running with very good chances of winning to expand our lead in the House. In the Senate, we have a better than average chance of moving closer. Right now, it looks like we could pick up 3 seats in the Senate this year. And one of those seats is Patty Kim in the Harrisburg area, and that would be huge. Be able to pick up a Senate seat there. So this year, one of the big things legislatively, if we can, as much as possible, wherever you're at in the state, go to your county Democratic committee. If you need help connecting with them, let me know. I have all their contact information. And please, if you have time, volunteer. Go out, knock some doors, make some phone calls, send some text messages. Make sure we get people out and voting this year, because it's not just Biden at the top of the ticket. We need to work bottom up, elect our state reps, elect our state senators, make sure that we get the people in there who are going to make real changes for the LGBTQ community and Pennsylvanians as a whole in November. And so that way next term, we can be talking about passing legislation. And that's going to affect us instead of just legislation being written. And I look forward to that. So back to you, David.
Thank you, Erica. That was quite insightful and well done. All right. Next on our list, the Goodwill Fundraising Donation Drive will be taking place on Saturday, July 13th during the Crawford County Pride. We originally scheduled the event to run from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. However, Pride doesn't run, Pride runs from noon to 5 p.m. So we were able to get the donation totes and truck and so forth between the hours 11 and 5, and I took it because that best coincided with when I'd hoped people would be at Diamond Park for that event. The way this works is Goodwill is going to bring us 34 by 4 by 4 foot totes. For every tote that we get filled, we make $50, and Goodwill takes the stuff away. So I've got all kinds of stuff sitting in my shed, stuff left over from the last free shop event, and all of that stuff is bound for Goodwill and the totes. So we have a maximum of $1,500 we can make from that event. We've already promised the organizers for Crawford County Pride that we would contribute half of that. So we have a shot at making $750. This is our goodwill gesture to keep Crawford County Pride going. And while there is a duplicate version of Crawford County Pride called Meadville Pride, which will be on July 29th on Chestnut Street, or not the 29th, the 27th.
27th. Yeah, I was gonna say it's 27th. Yeah.
That is run by the Northwest PA Pride Alliance out of Erie, and I figure it this way: if some small towns can have one pride, that's great. For a town the size of Meadville to have two prides in the same month, that's just prideier than all. All right, I digress. Now, moving on to the remaining Pride events. I know Tiffany Shirley had a lot to say to me privately regarding the events related to Drag Queen Story Hour. And she also spoke a little bit about Lancaster Pride. But we sent her copies of the posters and brochures that we had that I guess she was able to get set out at one of their tables, but it had the QR code for people to go and take the housing survey. And lo and behold, we started getting some responses in from Lancaster shortly thereafter. So I'm grateful for that. I've already talked a little bit about Warren County Pride and Venango County Pride. What we have coming up are Erie this coming Saturday, June 29th is Erie Pride from noon to 5. We have to be up there at 10:30 to get things set up. We've already got an 8-foot table and 2 chairs waiting for us, but we're going to bring the rest of the stuff that we've brought to the other Pride events, pictures of which are on Facebook. We've got Meadville and Crawford County Pride coming up in July. Is anybody going to be attending any other Pride events?
I will definitely be able to attend Meadville's.
All right. And I got to be honest with everybody. I really think Pride season is getting longer and longer. Before you know it, it's going to be longer than summer. Oh, wait.
You know what? I'll take it.
But you know what? It already is, in a sense, because Columbia Montour's Pride is not until October.
When is Crawford County Pride?
Crawford County Pride is July 13th. Meadville Pride is July 27th.
Okay. I knew about Meadville Pride. I didn't know about Crawford County Pride.
Okay.
I might be going up on Sunday to Bucks County, Montgomery County Pride.
Awesome.
And that's in Abington.
Okay.
I can't make it to Lidditz Pride on the 29th. I already have things to do that, but There's also Lehigh Valley Pride on Sunday, August 18th. And if anybody, that's a big one. It's held at the Steel Stacks in Allentown.
Mhm.
And it's going to be a very big Pride festival. So if anybody wants to go over there, that sounds like a great idea. I will be unfortunately out of state for that one.
Okay. Okay, I'm
And
almost,
there
yeah, I'm almost
and
certain
there
that one. Oh, go ahead, please.
there is one other one I want to touch on. Um, Pride Festival of Central Pennsylvania, July 27th. That's in Harrisburg.
Okay.
So center of the state, I think that would be pretty awesome to go to. If anybody wants to go to that, I could probably find a way to work my way out to Harrisburg.
We'll talk it over out here over the next few days and see what everybody thinks.
And I think it is one of the longest serving prides that we have in the state, because this year is the 32nd annual Pride Festival.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the only other longer ones would be Pittsburgh and Philadelphia.
Right. And for Central PA, that's a long time.
It is. Indeed it is.
I think Buffalo's Pride is like a month and a half long.
Month and a half long Pride event.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they have events like every single day. It's big.
Wow.
I know Columbus Pride in Ohio is a huge draw of people. When I attended in 1996, it was estimated there were 40,000 people at Pride. 40,000 of us. And I tried counting them from the ground at Fountain Square, and I just kept getting stuck at the same ridiculous number, 110. And as I was running around counting and losing my steps, I kept hearing, hey, you, yeah, you looking around counting people. And I'm like, oh God, is that you? No, up here in the apartment. Yeah, did you lose your kids? Sure enough, John and Greg had gotten away from us when we were going through the Pride March, and they had sat down in the van ahead of us. And Jen and I at the time were carrying the banner for the city of Toledo. And sure enough, John and Greg went up into somebody's apartment, and they were chilling. I mean, they were eating ice cream, having their best life. And we get upstairs, and the guy was like, yeah, do you guys want to go swimming? So he takes us to their pool. And we're like, this is really, really cool of you. Thank you. So yeah, that was Pride 1996 in Columbus. Good time had by all.
2 years before I was even thought of.
Yes. All right. Fundraising ideas. Harness has approached me repeatedly about sending them money to have them help us raise money. At $299 a month, can we afford that? I mean, $199 was the lowest they were willing to go. I think there are better ways to spend our money, to be honest.
What was it for?
Yeah, so Harness would help us with our fundraising.
Okay.
Yeah, being someone who's gone through the political landscape of fundraising, I have some ideas that we can run through that would help us
Okay.
quite a
Definitely
bit.
need ideas.
Yeah, so I can definitely help us with fundraising a little bit more. Yeah, whether it's online portals that we can use for fundraising. We might even be able to use Act Blue. Because we're a nonprofit, and I would like to think that we generally stay on the left side of the spectrum, and that's what Act Blue is for. So we could use that as a fundraising facility, and that's free if you're using it, and it's a per donation basis that we have to pay them for facilitating donations.
If we use Act Blue, do we need to be a 501c4, or will our 501c3 status be sufficient?
I believe we can do this as a 501c3 because while we aren't, so as long as we don't support any politician specifically,
Okay.
we can use it as a fundraising tool. We can use it to support the party. We can use it to support different things that we're doing. Pride, which is there's a lot of political stuff that goes with Pride as well. But as long as we don't give money directly to candidates,
Mm-hmm.
that would be fine.
Okay. All right.
So I think that's. Let me research it a little bit more.
Okay. And then the other, I mentioned INSA already, and when the month ends, we'll find out shortly thereafter once they've had a chance to get their sales reports done for the month of June. We'll have a better understanding of how much we're looking at from them. And then, of course, there's always corporate and government grants. And these are some of the things that I'd like to make sure that our fundraising team discusses, investigates, and ideas that we can put into immediate action. So I think we've got a great team ready to go to do all of that. Item E under new business is Pantos with People's Light Theater in Malvern, and this is back to Erica.
So I had a discussion. Let me just bring it up on here because I had People's Light. I had a discussion with Andrew Watchering at People's Light. So there's going to be a group of people. We're all going to be working together to bring people together for an event on November 18th in support of queer and trans youth. A Pantos is like a little play, and that's what People's Light does. They do a lot of these small, shorter plays, and on November 18th, there's going to be a big event supporting our group. So we're going to be all working together. There are quite a few people. There's from the Welcome Project PA, the LGBTQ Alliance of Chester County. There's going to be some church people there from the Westminster Presbyterian Church. The Center for Trans and Queer Advocacy is going to be working there. Planned Parenthood, obviously the Pennsylvania Equality Project, Arrive Therapy, which if you've never heard of Arrive Therapy, it is a LGBTQ specific therapy group who provides therapy sessions, group, individual, telehealth to the LGBTQ community. They're going to be part of this. The Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living, and a lot of people from interfaith groups as well. So we're all going to be working together along with People's Light to create a good event that's going to hopefully raise money for queer and trans youth, as well as talk about some of the issues that face youth today.
Okay, great.
So I will be meeting with them on July 8th. And that will be our first meeting. We're going to start hashing out advertising. We're going to start hashing out the events, schedules, and everything. And as that goes on, I will give updates to the team via either email or through our chat system.
Okay, thank you. All right, Fairness Pennsylvania and Fairness West Virginia discussion. So Erica, I think I mentioned to you, but I will mention to everyone, the Fairness Pennsylvania is a new organization in PA that is going to be conducting a lot of advocacy and lobbying work in Harrisburg. The way some of the earlier press releases made it sound, the one quote that struck me kind of rough, and I'm not sure if this quote is taken out of context or not, but what it comes down to is this: they are picking up where Equality PA and other organizations that no longer exist left off. And the problem I have with that is that there are other organizations still active from the time that Equality PA existed that are still doing the work, among them us. We haven't gone anywhere. And while we aren't necessarily knocking on doors in Harrisburg at the state capitol, we are drawing attention in a different way by reaching directly out to the people and asking them to contact their state representatives and legislators. And we do this in a variety of ways, whether at in-person events, such as Pride events, or we're doing it through memes on our Facebook threads and Instagram accounts. Yeah, we've been doing this for 13 years now. Pennsylvania Youth Congress has been actively engaged with the legislature now for just about the same amount of time, because they were founded, I believe, in 2012. I think they turned 12 this year. And Keystone Equality is up and running. So what I would ideally like to see is that Fairness Pennsylvania and all of the other statewide organizations and pride organizations are able to find ways that we can work together in unison and form one cohesive message in which we are each dealing with our own perspectives, but we're also addressing particular needs. So, for example, we need a nonprofit organization that's reaching out to legislators in Washington. There's training that could be done on diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging as it applies to the LGBTQ plus community. There's always plenty of work when it comes to recommending legislation, or the surveying that we do, or the report I wrote for Allegheny County in their executive's office, looking at how they can update their non-discrimination ordinance. So there's ample work for us to do. We just want to make sure that our messaging going out is inclusive and addresses the gaps in advocacy that currently exist. Okay, that takes us to, oh, and Erica, what I wanted to mention to you is I did try to reach out to Eddie. I have not heard back from him.
Yeah, he's a little bit busy right now, doing other kind of things. He's
Sure,
also a consultant for Democratic candidates. So he's
understood.
a little bit busy getting them elected.
I prefer that he does that work, and when he is at his convenience able to reach out to me again, at that point we can talk some more, or at least try to.
Okay,
All right,
very good.
All right, taking us to our charter and bylaws. The charter and bylaws were last reviewed in 2022. This is something we have done ever since we've had a charter and bylaws, and that is between now and our September meeting. What I'm asking everybody to do, no matter what committee you serve on, and no matter what how well versed you are on these matters, take a look at our charter and bylaws, read through them, and look for things that we could tweak or improve or work on in terms of how well we're doing and how effectively we're following the charter and bylaws. Okay. I mention this because a review of charter and bylaws becomes more and more critical as our fundraising efforts increase. Because eventually we have to report back to the IRS about fundamental changes to our charters and bylaws. So if you would please give those a review. Any other new business items?
None for me.
Nope, nope. Tori, are you there? Tori?
All right.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
Couldn't
No
find my
worries.
audio button. Yes,
Okay.
I'm still here.
Yeah, so any new business items you'd like to add? We've covered the list so far. Just want to make sure everybody's had a chance to speak their piece.
I'm not sure if it counts as new business, but the Crawford County Dems are having a watch party for the debate on Thursday at their office on Diamond Park. The debate is at 9, but people will start gathering at 5 from what I've heard. So if y'all want to come, you're welcome.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
I do have one question, if that's possible. I know we're going to open discussion and comments next, but
Sure.
you know, I reached out to the Southeastern Pennsylvania Goodwill to see if we could get something very similar to what you're doing in Western PA.
Yes.
And they have not gotten back to me yet about
Okay.
anything. I don't know if they're ever going to, but I really want to participate in this clothing drive out in Western PA.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody who would be willing to, or does anybody know anybody that could help me out by either meeting me halfway or whatever? It's a 6-hour drive to get up to Crawford County for me.
Dave's the only person I know with a car, unfortunately. Besides like 2 other people, but they're like busy a lot.
The only other person out your way that would likely be zooming across this way would be one of 2 people. Tiffany Shirley is coming to Erie Pride. And I'm going to be at Erie Pride, so that would be one way we could get it. Erica, did you mention you're coming to Erie Pride?
No. I can't make it to Erie Pride.
Okay.
I said Bucks, the Bucks County and
Bucks,
Montgomery County Pride.
Right. Okay.
But
So Tiffany is coming out here for Erie Pride on Saturday. I don't know how close you are to Lancaster.
yeah, Lancaster, I could do Lancaster pretty easily. That's a 45-minute drive for me.
Okay. Okay. So and we'll have room in our car to bring back not only the supplies that we have from Erie Pride, but we'll have room to be able to take on whatever you'd send out with Tiffany if you're able to connect and do that.
Yeah, let me see if I can connect. I'm off on Friday, so I could probably head over to Lancaster on Friday and
Okay.
drop off whatever I have.
Okay. Yeah, that would be good. All right. So open discussion and comments. This is the part of the meeting where you get to share whatever's on your mind and talk about whatever you think is important that the organization should know about.
Do you guys like comics? Have you ever read a comic and wished it was kind of like a movie with voice actors and sound effects and all that shit pizzazz? Well, I actually already released the first one. It's of this comic actually, and I have a full cast. Dave is actually Jerry, actually, and I'm Rick and Morty. Oh, jeez, Rick! There's a whole lot of crazy crap going on over here, Rick. Shut the fuck up, Morty. You little turtle, Sir Morty. Oh, jeez, Rick, you really turned into me.
Oh, come on. We don't have time for this, and not to mention the fact that we're recording it. We're in a meeting here, Rick. Can't you wait?
No one cares what you think, Jerry.
Yeah, in case you haven't seen it,
It's really fun to make.
that cartoon that
Really
AJ's
fun
referring
project.
to is now available on PEP Radio's Facebook page.
My studio's Facebook page, Chimera Studios, and my studio's YouTube page, also Chimera Studios. Chimera with a
it-
Y, just so you know. Someone already had it with an I.
All
Besides,
right.
mine looks fancier anyway.
And it's on YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's on YouTube.
Yep, it's on everything except for my TikTok because I apparently can't log back into it.
Oops.
Yeah. Kind of sucks. I had a lot of videos on there actually.
All right. Any other comments, discussion?
I was wondering, not so much, a little bit. Okay, so for fundraising, and this is completely like not in my wheelhouse and not really for me to say anything, but the thing that they did at Basement Transmissions and Compton's Table was the one that was given money. Like for like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there any way, like, I don't know, because like I don't play in a band, so like I'm kind of volunteering people, which I realize is sort of not cool. But like I wonder if they would like to do something, but like their intention is to donate money to PEP, or yeah, Pennsylvania Equality Project.
Mhm.
Because like there were some bands I was actually pretty surprised by. I really like I think
There were
Nancy's
some good bands
Boys.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I was like,
I'm
wow.
actually friends with Alex. She's actually the drummer for a new band I'm trying to start up actually.
So I feel like there's like I feel like there's that these overlap, like of course music in our population. And of course you could say that for anybody, but I feel like it's maybe more specific in particular. So I didn't know if we would catch an eye, and I feel like that could be a fundraising opportunity.
Actually,
But again, not my spot to say anything. Just an idea.
does it look familiar? From the same place.
Yes.
I got a couple CDs as well that we could play on the station while we were there.
That's cool. Because like we could be like playing those bands on the
Yeah.
radio too.
Exactly.
So like it could be win-win.
That's correct.
Hmm. That's all.
Okay.
And can I like you know how people do birthdays and they like donate money to this specific thing? I would like to do that for my birthday. Is that something you can do like on social media for Pennsylvania Equality?
You might be able to.
Yeah, I think we've done that in the past.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to.
And I feel like
Um,
I've been donating money to places that I need to get my back scratched and see money donated back to me, or the things that I find.
Yeah, we've got one of those
Interesting.
verified green checkmark things on our Facebook page.
Okay.
So yeah, that shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. I'll mess around with that.
How do you get that check mark? I always wonder how people got that on their pages.
I mean, in our case, probably because we've been around since 2014. So
Maybe. Yeah, mine is
as far as
only like,
Facebook is
like 2
concerned,
years
we've
old, I
existed
think.
for 10 years.
Or no, actually, my page is only a year old. I forgot how to make it last year because the old account got hacked. So that might be why I don't have one then.
But yeah, that, and we've given a lot of money to Facebook.
It might be that too.
Okay, in terms of the next meeting, what you see on here, Monday, September 23rd, 2024 at 7 p.m. is not set in stone. That can be adjusted as we get into September, and you know, the kids are back at school, and the adults are doing adult type stuff. So if we have to change that date and time, that's fine. I can be flexible with that. I hope the rest of you can as well. But yeah, that is our proposed next meeting. So can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Sure.
My second.
You get a gavel.
So moved by Erica,
Sure.
seconded by, was that Tori or Leslie?
Sorry.
Thank you, Tori, seconded by Tori. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And hey, it's 8 o'clock. We did it in exactly 1 hour. Thank you, folks. The meeting is adjourned. That's our annual meeting.
Yay.
And for those of you looking for an after party, the Zoom event that we've got right now, these meetings in the past have taken anywhere from an hour and a half to 3 hours. So getting done in exactly 1 hour is impressive. So mazel
It's
tov.
actually perfect timing for me, actually.
Good deal. Me too.
Same.
All right.
Awesome.
Get
I
started
gotta
on the
go
next
do
little
other gay shit
episode.
now.
Woo!
Yeah, the comic content I was talking about is actually also station content. They'll be used as audiobooks as well, and the videos will be on the website page too, like the video portions. So if you guys are interested, there may be some openings at some point for lines. You just have to be able to make it to me to go to my studio to record it.
Cool.
I got a fancy mic.
Wow.